I was meditating before our timing. Hey, Lori from Michigan, welcome. So many of you know me, many of you don't know me. I've been doing quantum energy work and clairvoyant as a professional for over 20 years. And honestly, I would rather speak about angels and all that wonderful light that's coming into our planet and channel ascended masters for you. And I do all of that. Hello, Francoise from France. Welcome. But I've been getting the message lately that we have to pay a little bit of attention and acknowledge the dark forces on the planet that are equally as powerful. And having been to Egypt over 12 times, I used to guide spiritual groups. Hello, Mark in Phoenix. Welcome. Colleen, welcome. So as I was saying, I used to guide groups, spiritual groups to Egypt, and we would do these pilgrimages with incredible, powerful experiences. And I can say that having been on the path for over 40 years now, I've had a lot of incredible spiritual experiences that probably many of you have had also. But there was this one time that I was in the Great Pyramid in the King's Chamber in Cairo, Egypt. And we would each take turns laying in the giant sarcophagus in the center of the chamber. And there was a group of maybe 10 or 12 of us, and we would chant around the person that was in the sarcophagus. And we would chant Om, holding an energetic vibration, creating a portal for this person that was in that center space to activate, connect, really receive some powerful downloads or information, whatever might be coming up for the person. So my opportunity of laying in the chamber was very powerful. And what I had a vision of was these masters, ascended masters that were descending down an illuminated staircase that were coming down for me. And I was like, it was a surprise. I'm like, oh, you're coming. It feels like my birthday, perhaps an energetic or spiritual rebirth day, but it was a grand celebration. Oh, Francoise, you remember that experience, right? Thank you for that. It was so incredible because what happened as these ascended masters came down in a singular line, all of a sudden the line divided, and there were masters of the light and masters of the dark. And I was quite taken back by that, quite honestly. I was shocked, like, what do you mean? Of course I'm going with the light, but the guide, or my guide, said to me, which will you follow? The masters of the light or masters of the dark? And quite honestly, you know, growing up, I was raised Catholic, but, you know, you hear of the devil or Satan in growing up, or dark forces or the demons. And I never really got it. And I didn't really understand the hierarchy, nor did I want to go down that path. So just so that you know, I do follow the masters of the light, but there are, and it became very real and very apparent to me, that the masters of the dark are equally as powerful and prevalent as masters of the light. So with that said, I want you to know that I'm not here to help you cast spells or break spells today. I have a broader vision and understanding of what the jinn is, having lived in the Middle East for 5 years, 5 consecutive years. I worked with many Muslim people and also understand the Jewish faith. So I do understand that they understand and have a deeper reverence and respect of staying clear and recognizing perhaps symptoms of the dark forces and being possessed or having a curse on you or having black magic or the evil eye. So in my world, in the West, we don't talk about that so much, depending on our cultural where we begin. That isn't a prevalent topic. However, we can talk about dark energies. So I want to briefly just take a look at here that and emphasize that I am not a black magic healer. I do heal black magic, and I do and able to see black magic and curses and spells. Honestly, in a broader sense of things, I see them as energy, okay? So I think that helps us to maybe get a little more neutral to a very hot topic. And hey, Troy, it's nice to see you. Happy Saturday in this rainy San Diego. My gosh, we've had the storm of a century here last night. Rain and thunder and lightning. It was actually, I guess, a symbol of what was coming today for us here. But you know, before I go too far into what we can do and how we can identify the symptoms, because I think this is something that's really overlooked for a lot of people in understanding, let's say, black magic. And I'm going to sort of broaden it and say dark energies or dark forces, okay? Although I do understand black magic, all right, just having led that. And in my work, I'm all about aligning and supporting you to come into alignment with your higher purpose, your genuine light as a soul, and follow your soul's blueprint, raising your vibration so that you can have more abundance in your life and you can have the desires and fulfill your purpose. That's the ultimate goal. In looking at these dark energies and the dark forces, one, I want you to know I have a deep reverence for it. I understand it, and all of us are impacted by them all the time. And I think in all the years of my work, having said, I always respect the dark magic and the realness of it, is that there are some things that sage and crystals just don't fix. And I don't mean to disrespect anybody that follows saging or doing a little ritual of setting flowers or reframing the energy of a space or a business. You know, that's all good. But I think when you have a higher understanding, it's like you can learn basic arithmetic in your elementary school training, but you can't understand calculus until you get to university. And it's very much like that in terms of your spiritual development and conscious understanding. As for myself, I didn't understand and have the reverence of the dark forces until I went through a number of spiritual initiations and had a number of years of experience. Perhaps you can call it spiritual wisdom or maturity. It takes time, and it takes significant amount of practice and professional practice to be able to identify it and dissect it and unplug it. So that being said, Reiki and there's other, therapies or, gosh, there's so much energy coming at me right now. My words aren't coming. But if you guys could just, let's go ahead and start by grounding ourselves. Hey, Sharon, it's nice to see you. And Geraldine, would like everybody to tell me where you're calling or watching from. It would be nice to see that. And Amberlyn, hey, I think you're watching from Dubai. Yeah, modalities, thank you. Other modalities like Reiki, such as NLP and yeah, you guys know them. Yoga can even help. So yes, we're going to talk about some tools that can help. And again, we're going to work on the very basics today. I please want you to stay till the very end so that I can help give you some tools and also an activation. So I've been preparing the energy. France, bonjour, or bonne nuit. It's almost nighttime for you. Also, I want to add that another tool that's especially helpful and important right now is that meditation. I always emphasize meditation, and there's a gazillion types of different meditations. So I really emphasize the tools that I teach are quantum energy tools, and they're a form of meditation or visualization that help you direct the energy. Okay, so I believe we're in a time period, I'll call it, of spiritual awakening and ascension, where we have to be conscious of raising our vibrations, being conscious of the energies that are impacting us, be conscious of what we want to create and how our thoughts are creating. So that is all very relevant right now, and it's amplified, okay? The energies being, yes, there's a lot of incredible powerful energies coming into our planet, you know, with Sharon, you're a wonderful, powerful astrologer, knowing that, you know, Venus is in retrograde and there's a lot of squaring. So I know that we're being pushed collectively to shift, to heal and release energies that are dark, that are foreign, that aren't the truth of who you are, and call them a curse, call them your mom and dad, call them other people, foreign energies, people that have been jealous of you perhaps, or envious, or even wanting revenge for whatever reason. You know, I was absolutely horrified. Thank you so much to you, Vicki Butler-Hagen. She sent me a text the other day, and now I'm on my phone so I can't see it. Vicki, if you want to post that link, that's great. But what it is Fox News was sharing that there's witches in Brooklyn that have posted a public hexing display next week against Judge Kavanaugh. And I'm not saying go for or against, left or right. All I'm saying is this is unacceptable. And as any kind of light worker, you need to understand that your thoughts are creating. And with that demonstration of public vexing and hexing and, you know, cursing someone, it's just wrong. That doesn't raise our vibration. That doesn't change anything. It just creates war and really ugly situations. So, you know, first we have to look at ourselves. And I really emphasize that clearing and raising your vibration is the way to, first of all, minimize the effect of evil eye or the black magic coming at you. You know, here in the West, we don't talk about the evil eye as much as in the Middle East is a very common thing. And Sabrina, welcome from London. I appreciate that you're joining us today and tonight for you. So, yeah, the evil eye and black magic, it's almost, I wouldn't say revered, it's respected. We respect it. And we don't want to talk about them. I should say myself, and when I was in the Middle East, I noticed that a lot of people, they don't want to talk about it because it scares them. And if you talk about them, that invites them in. You know, we could even talk about ghosts and hauntings and how those energies, perhaps the witches from Salem are resurrecting and they have a vexed or, you know, karma that is going against the judges of their time, and Kavanaugh perhaps represents that. So there's a lot of overlays here, guys. This is complicated. This is not a super simple thing, and you can't just wave a magic wand or throw some crystals or burn some sage. Although, you know, it can make you feel good for a moment, and it can make you feel like, you know, just give you some peace of mind. Hey, there's Sabrina. It's nice to have you. Amberlyn, yes. I think you're from Dubai, right? Amberlyn, aren't you still living there? So let me know where you're calling or watching from. Okay, so for some of my Western watchers here, a lot of you may not be familiar with the black magic or curses or spells. And I, as I said, I'd like to refer to them as entities or foreign invaders. That might be a better way to say it. And so a lot of people lately have been telling me that, you know, they've got these crazy symptoms, even heart palpitations or anxiety attacks or nervousness and not able to sleep. They go to the doctor. They might get an antidepressant. They might get some muscle relaxers or get sent home, and the doctors say there's nothing wrong with you. And I've heard that many, many times lately from clients. So blinding headaches and insomnia, or even you might even see somebody losing their eyesight or their vision starts changing rapidly. And a lot of people lately are saying that they're feeling like they're going crazy thoughts. And honestly, I was there a couple weeks ago myself, but I can tell you some of this is symptoms of what they call ascension and awakening. And quite honestly, I don't know that it's a symptom of being possessed perhaps it is, the awakening process is pushing us to move these foreign energies out of our space. So it's coming to the surface. So you start thinking you're going crazy. They're foreign energies that need to be released. Depression is another big one. And I don't know if anybody wants to give me a thumbs up on that one, but I know that myself, I go through these waves of feeling just like, whoa, what's come over me? And from talking to my clients and friends, it's been predominant, and people hiding, wanting to sort of just escape what's going on for them. Another thing, of feeling very heavy and weighted down, like very lethargic, and like you can't move your feet or move yourself into taking action in any way. Yeah, I can't really see who that is because the chat's scrolling. So yes, this is not talked about a whole lot, but I think it's very important. Another symptom that has come up is infertility. And you may notice in your friends and colleagues around you that there's more and more people that are declaring infertility. And quite honestly, as I look at the energies, it's blocks. Can it be a curse? Can it be a spell? Yes, it can be that. And again, broadly speaking, spells are energy. The secret of being able to remove a spell or a hex or a curse or anything else that we would like to softly call it a block is being able to identify it. And I'm going to get into this because we're complex. We're not just a physical body, although you may notice the symptoms physically first. We also have an emotional body. Okay, we have a mental body, and then we have a spiritual body. Right? And so these influences and energies, usually what happens is we can have a negative thought, or we can be feeling bad, we can be watching the Kavanaugh hearings, or we can be lit up over some injustice in our life. It's basically pushing a button within you, and you might not see that. It could be an emotional button, could be a mental button, it could be, a long forgotten spiritual button from a past life. And what happens is that button gets ignited for you to be triggered so you can go, I need to move that energy out. Of course, you go into a hysteria or in some depression or revenge that you're just going to go out and get somebody and you're going to destroy somebody and you take it out on somebody. And really, that's energy coming up, bubbling up that wants to be cleared. Another very common occurrence can be nightmares. Anybody out there seeing themselves having nightmares or recurring dreams of, let's say, snakes. That's a classic, and I'm going to talk about snakes in a little bit. There could be rare skin conditions that start or don't stop. For instance, eczema, or eczema as you say it right here. What about repeating cycles? Yes, patterns. So in terms of spiritual awakening, they're talking about, everybody's talking about it. I've been seeing this for years myself, but you can see the 1111 or 333 or 444. I think your higher guides and your angels are speaking to you. If you think about it and simplify things, and I don't want to go too off topic here because I've given us an hour. So in a few more minutes, we're going to start to do some clearing. And then I'm certainly open to any other questions or any specifics. But the symbols and patterns of repeating occurrences are indicators that there's a part of you that's shifting and you're becoming in tune with multiple parts of yourself because you are a multidimensional being. You are energy, right? Everything in the universe is energy and it's numbers. Okay, has anybody noticed they're forgetting more lately? Sharon, are you waving your hand? We used to joke about that a lot and forgetting things all the time, but I think it's also a notion of shifting frequencies and also connecting and connecting to your guides, channeling your beings and entities. So could it be those white masters of the light? Could it also be the masters of the dark? So there again, it's like splitting hairs here. They're all very, very, very real. Okay, one thing I haven't talked about yet is alcohol and drugs. And over the years, looking at clients, I can honestly tell you, symptoms such as depression or anti-anxiety medications can open you up for dark energies to come in. And I've worked with schizophrenics and bipolar individuals who really are not, and I'm not a doctor, so I can say from my own experience, moving the energies out. And granted, some of these people, schizophrenics, are so blown open, their crown chakra is so wide, that there's going to take a lot of work for them to completely come into balance and heal. But it's not without saying that it can't happen. So I feel like I'm yelling at you. I hope I'm not, maybe because the phone is so far from me. And there's just a lot of energy here. So before we go into too much further, I know everybody's bubbling. I've hit some points. I'm just going to ask you to go ahead and close your eyes for just a minute so we can help settle the energy here. All the beings in your space that want to be released, or you're looking for some help, they're tapping me on the shoulder and hitting me on the top of my head. So I'm going to just ask you to take a deep breath, 1 or 2. Let's just calm our bodies down. Just take another deep breath in. I need to create some space between you and me here. If you could just imagine a little gold ball at the base of your spine, and just drop that ball of light into a stream of light that hooks to the center of the planet. And as you do that, you can just imagine magnets, let's say at the center of the planet and at the base of your spine, that connects this glowing golden stream of light. Whew, there you go, that made a difference. And if you could just stretch that golden light to meet the edge of your aura, that bubble that surrounds the body. Ooh, wow. You guys are all coming in on my solar plexus. You want something, I can see that. Okay, I'm doing my best here. So as you do that, just engage the gravitational pull of the planet and just give yourself permission to start letting go. All the excitement, getting some validation, some maybe truth or awareness. Just saying hello, that's big too. We've got people here from Dubai and London and France and Canada and all over the United States. So grateful that you could come here. It's a delight. Delight, that's right. So activating gravity, just let go. Just let go. Let your body sink into the chair. Hope you're not driving doing this, because that would be not a good thing. So if you are, just follow along, but don't go into meditation. All right. And now, if you could please imagine on the edge of your aura a great big symbol. Oh, I like to view roses, okay? I like roses, and everybody around the world recognizes that symbol. It's neutral and it's a powerful vibration. So just drop an essence of yourself in a rose on the edge of your aura. And also ground that rose. Oh, there you go. Whew, now I can breathe. I was feeling like I was getting choked here, or like smothered with all your love and all your curiosity. All right. You can drop an essence of yourself in that rose, or maybe your driver's license picture, passport picture. And that works as a decoy, okay? So for anybody looking for you, or for you to come into my space, it sort of works as a marker. So it keeps you in your bubble, and I get to stay in mine. So this is one of the very first tools we learn, and one of the things I teach in my quantum energy tools, because we need to learn to stay in our own aura. You know, we have this energy field, and it's a powerful vortex. It's a pattern of energy, and it's enough of a job to manage it, okay? So we don't need to be going in other people's auras and checking out what they're doing or how they're managing their energy. You already have a divine blueprint that is, you know it perfectly, okay? But nobody taught us this, okay? So it's Psychic Training 101. Thanks, Francoise. Francoise just posted the Quantum Energy Tools link where you can get access to the tools that I teach. that are also in my book, and it's actually the precursor to any of the work that I do with anybody. So you can get those, you can follow along, keep them in your hip pocket, practice them day and night, make them your friend. All right, that lightened everything up. Great. All right. So a few of you I lost, and that's okay. So those people who weren't able to stay in their bubble, they just got knocked out. So I appreciate that. Now, you know, when people are possessed or have a curse or experiencing black magic, oftentimes you may have encountered them, you know, laughing with a strange laugh or nonstop, and or for reasons unknown. They're just sort of hysterical. And speaking of hysterical, they can also be emotional. Hey, Darlene Baca, it's so nice to see you. My book is called Manifesting Miracles 101, and you can get it on Amazon. And if you also purchase any of my packages, my training tools, it's always included in that. So basically, it's a guidebook to everything I teach in my miracle mentoring training. It was a 1-year program to begin with, and then we condensed it to a 12-week program that is packed. Maybe it's a 10-week program, but it is packed with all the tools, all the techniques, and guides you through clearing your chakras and your energy field that really will catapult you in your abilities to manifest. So it's requiring work. It requires your intention and attention. So the other things that you can notice around being possessed or affected by foreign entities is changes in voice. Have you ever noticed when a person's drinking, how their behavior changes? Alcohol, I mean. Their behavior changes almost instantly. And why is that? And you can say, well, I don't drink much, but it changes your behavior. And or people that drink excessively, they become radically different. And that's because what happens is their crown chakra opens, and there's a party of probably 25, just making this up, of entities or beings that jump in to your energy field, and it's like party on down, and it's like your spirit steps aside, but other entities or beings take over. This also happens when we're taking any medications, okay? You notice that your behavior changes. And okay, maybe some medications allow you to stay present, but I would debate that, okay? And I'd have to look at you individually. All medications affect us. I know if I just take something like Vicodin, I become very weird. I just feel agitated and angry. And I want to tell you a story about one time when I was driving along the street. I was in Hillcrest in San Diego. I was with a friend of mine, and we were also both students of some spiritual studies, and I was in a great mood, and driving down the street, somebody looked in the car at me, and it was like an instant rawr. I just wanted to rip his face off, and I felt like a grizzly bear jumped inside me. I said, that's it, Michael, I need to go home now. And when I got home, he went home, and I said, he didn't know how to do this, but I guided him to finding and clearing what I call snakes and spiders. So I didn't know exactly where it was in my space myself, but I guided him to where to clear it and how to clear it. And oh my gosh, that was a lifesaver. And it was within 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I was back to my normal self again. So that brings me to the realm of snakes. Snakes are a realm of entities that come in on pictures or thoughts or feelings of control. And they like to destroy your creations. Snakes, you might not want to hear this, okay? This is pretty controversial. Here goes. Snakes control money on our planet. So we are in a game of control by money on our planet. Would you not agree? money rules us, right? We can't seem to live without it unless we're in a mountain cave in the Himalayas. But we get lit up. Our survival is triggered if we don't have enough money, or if we're not able to manifest abundance in any way. So money affects and controls us and limits us. And so there's so many spiritual teachers that have spoken on this subject of money is energy. And the notion of money is spiritual, but you have to first remove the energies that are affecting and controlling your ability to manifest, your abilities to connect with your own inner blueprint and have all of your chakras in alignment. That's the anatomy of your spirit. So I feel like I'm going all over the place here. The beings are having fun with us. Check in with that grounding cord for yourselves, please, and get into your body. Stay in your space, in your bubble. And I appreciate it. So you may notice a person that's, let's say, you for the West, we mostly notice people drinking and how their face will change. You can be looking at somebody and all of a sudden you see their face morphing. And that's also an indication that there's other beings present and active. People that are paranoid, excessively hysterical, or just plain hysterical. And I've been under psychic attack numerous times myself, and it doesn't mean just because you're a spiritual person or you practice the energy tools that you can't be exempt of it. Considering that everything is energy, energy's always moving, the only chance of defense that we have, well, in my perspective, my belief, our biggest defense is having a clear and healthy energetic field. When our aura is strong, it becomes a natural field of resistance, okay? Putting up mirrors or putting up, surrounding your aura with a white light, it just stops. It's like putting a pause button. It stops everything. It still freeze frames it. So you're not letting the energy flow and manifest. The energy's always moving, so it has to keep moving. So, you may disagree with me, and that's okay. Whatever makes you feel good. When you can see the energies and differentiate, you can actually see how it does affect it. And so then that's where you get to understand, raise your level of awareness. All right. I've got a little list here of things. Whew. Anybody ready to do some energy clearing or get into alignment, move out these dark forces? Give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, show me that you're there. Removing spells and removing energies, as I said, we're multiple layers of light and we have multiple energy bodies. Hello, Nola. You have something that pokes your ear and woke you up. Wasn't sure if that was, I don't think it's a dark force. Were you feeling agitated or irritable after you woke up? Love your music, Mark. Yeah, music is a great thing to change frequency. It's a powerful, depending on the music, right? I don't necessarily subscribe to rapper music, although there's some fun stuff, but definitely music can shift the vibration and raise it, and it will minimize influences. Yes, it can make a very positive effect. So I agree. Thanks for that. Okay, Nola. So if you didn't feel negative, that's a good indicator. But here's to say that there is nobody on the planet that doesn't have an effect of any negative or dark energy. All right, so we are all privileged, you can say, or suspect. So it means that we have to raise our energy to minimize the influences and the effect. Is there a reason why you have a bad wound and won't heal? Yes. So we have to look at it, Lori, from a perspective of, is it physical? If you are doing all the physical things that the body needs, are you eating a good diet? Have you raised your immune system? I'm looking at it for you right now, and I'm just going to put in some healing salve for you. I think there's a fear you're showing me here. There's some energy of metal around it. and also a male energy that's stuck to it. Sometimes, you know, we can go to a doctor and they can leave their energy on it. You know, I've removed energies from people that have surgery. I remember a client years ago, and she couldn't get pregnant, and I started removing energy of this doctor from her ovaries. The doctor insisted that she needed to have a tumor removed. When I was clearing the energy, the tumor was actually shrinking in a matter of days. But she went back to the doctor and he checked it. He could see it was shrinking, but he was so emphatic that she needed to have emergency surgery. And it was because, and I could tell her that it was because he had a schedule within the hospital and he needed to keep that commitment. You know, doctors have quotas too. Anyway, long story short, when he removed the tumor from her ovary, he said he's never seen anything like it. He was removing the tumor and the tissue was healing rapidly right behind it. He could see it with his own eyes. Oh no, now my battery's running out. I'm gonna have to get a cord, so hang on here. So where was I? Yeah. So, you know, we can I've witnessed it so many times, healing wounds. So I'm just dropping in some of my miracle energy here for you, Lori. All right, any other questions? You've tried many treatments. Okay, well, we could talk about that a little bit. You know, you can go to my website and I do offer a discovery session, so we can connect and I can take a deeper look at that for you. All right, if I'm going to do a little bragging here, but I've helped so many women get pregnant because the energy was stuck. All right, and women that have been told by the top medical teams money can buy, they could never get pregnant. So we can heal your womb. All right, anybody ready? I don't see what time it is. All right, so let's go and clear some of these energies. Lori, this might be your ticket, okay? And I want to say this, okay? Having much experience with spells and curses and black magic and entities and beings and sometimes we have to do multiple swipes. Sometimes there's multiple approaches, okay? Because we have a complex energy field, sometimes we have to clear one thing so we can get to the root of it. So I want you to know that. That's why I am so emphatic about energy clearing on a regular basis, all right? So please know that this can be your ticket. This can clear up some problems that you didn't know where they originated from or why, but it's very powerful, all right? So, but on the other hand, it may take a little more work, okay? And that's, having said that, that's my caveat here. All right, so if you want to just go ahead and sit back in your chair or your seat, wherever you're at, just close your eyes and take another deep breath in. Let's go ahead and check our grounding cords from the base of our spine, the little gold ball to the center of the planet. And just make sure that's hooked and secure. Breathing in, just letting yourself begin to relax with no effort, no energy of resistance, okay? All right, I want you to imagine that symbol of rose on the edge of your aura, your bubble, and just reminding yourself to stay in your bubble and keeping other people out of our space so we can do this work. You're establishing a sacred space where we can dive deeper. Dive deeper. All right, breathe in. And let's go ahead and imagine sitting in a cockpit in the center of our head with all these buttons and controls. Maybe you're in the rocket ship. It's like command central. And as you do that, sitting there quietly, centered, go ahead and push a button that opens the door or your screen, so that you have a full view out in front of you. And out in front of you appears a version of yourself, your body, and you can actually see the chakras illuminated on the body. And you can also see an aura, a bubble that surrounds your body. And you can see yourself grounded from the base of your spine, and you're hooked at the base, at the center of the earth. And go ahead and find that button to send a pulse, a purple pulse towards your body, or it could be a poof of light or a stream of purple energy that is igniting the physical body, any place where there is some foreign or dark energies that are stuck in your body. And just notice where that's stuck on your body. Make sure you look behind you, above you, and below you. You can actually pierce the body and see in the body. So you may even just get the sense that it's in your liver, perhaps, or you get a sense that it is in your lower back or behind your shoulders. Wherever you get the sense, just imagine there's a magic symbol, a magic sponge that begins to absorb all that purple energy on and around and in the body. You may get a sense of a family member. You may see a face or a name. You may see a colleague or a friend or an ex. Even if it's someone you love and care about, okay? This is not about bad or good here. It's just a foreign energy or a dark energy that doesn't belong to you. So without judgment on it, being completely neutral, completely collect all of that purple energy into your magic sponge. And as you collect all that and the sponge is completely filled with all that purple energy, just go ahead and toss that sponge up into a black hole, into the universe. Good job. You guys are looking brighter already. And now we're going to push another button, and it sends a pulsing purple energy towards that body out in front of you. This time it illuminates any energy inside your chakra systems. So you may see 7 purple blobs, or maybe you see an entire blob. That's perfectly fine. Whatever you see is perfect. Just notice where it is and begin with a magic sponge collecting up all of that purple energy. We got a magical 13 number of people here working their energies. It's real powerful. Yeah. All right, good job. And tossing that sponge into a black hole when you're complete. Chakras are in the front and the back of the body, so make sure you look on the back side too. Good. Now we're going to find another button on your console, and hitting this button, triggering some purple pulsing energy, have it illuminate any energy in your emotional body. So that may look different for different people, but just imagine that the purple energy is igniting any emotional body energies that are foreign to you. So begin collecting up any of that purple energy in your emotional body. So as I mentioned before, that dark forces can trigger hysteria and overreactive emotions and or depression and feeling, you know, even negative thoughts. But we're going to get into the mental body. You guys are jumping ahead. You're peaking. You psychic experts, you. So clearing that emotional body with a magic sponge, just collecting up all of that energy and popping that into a black hole and let it completely be absorbed. Far, far away in a galaxy far, far away from you. Breathe. Don't forget to stop. Just to stop. Don't stop breathing. Yeah, keep breathing. Yeah. Okay, and go ahead and find another button to push on your console that will send a deep, dark purple energy igniting your mental body. Any energies of dark forces that are stuck in your mental body. You know, if you find yourself over analyzing or negative thinking or worrying, oh my gosh, that's such a low vibration, and it destroys all your creations. And they may not even be your worries. I know a lot of my worries were my grandmother. She taught us well. So some of you may have a grandmother like I did, you know, we worried a lot. So it's a pattern. It's a pattern of energy that's passed down ancestrally. And this is true for so many things in our life that can be affecting us. So when I look at spells, yes, they can be ancestral. Or they could be a spell or a curse or black magic on your parent, but because you're so deeply connected with your parent, you receive the negative side effects. So it's far-reaching, as I said. With your magic sponge collecting up all that dark purple energy from the mental body. So I want to say that after this work, you can find yourself very, very exhausted. And if that's the case, just honor your body. If you find yourself overly emotional, just let yourself purge and release. If you find yourself wanting to sleep, just let yourself sleep. On the other hand, you may be filled with energy and clean your house from top to bottom. So either way could happen. I don't like to program you and say it's going to be like this or that. But there's a full range of physical side effects that you can experience. So one last button on your console is going to trigger a purple pulse. So go ahead and push that for your spiritual body. And having that purple energy ignite any energy that is dark or foreign or invading you on a spiritual level. Hey there, Sean, Cindy. Nice to have you. Yeah, and Colleen, if you get in the housekeeping thing, listen, anybody wants to come here and do mine, I'm happy for it. I love my little Roomba, my automatic vacuum cleaner. I don't have an automatic spider web removal. All right, when you collect up all that energy from your spiritual body, that purple energy that may be inflicting you on levels that you're not aware of, go ahead and just remove that by collecting it with a magic wand and then sending that out into orbit, into a black hole. Good job. And with your eyes closed, go ahead and just imagine a giant illuminating ball of golden light. So imagine stepping close to the sun and the massive ball of radiant light that the sun is. And this radiant ball of light is hovering, positioned over that auric field and your body out on your screen. And this magnetic sun is starting to draw back your energy from other people. It's like a vacuum or a suction magnet, and it's reclaiming energy from family and friends and your work and your play from the future. Yes, many of you are worried about the future or thinking and making plans. So your energy goes there. So let's call it back from the past. Calling it back from the past. And as the sun gets bigger and brighter and more radiant and vibrant, just imagine these pulsing rainbow-like showers. I'm kind of seeing pulses of like little ripples coming down, filling your auric field, filling in your body, physical body, down to the cellular level. And then moving down through the emotional body, realigning and activating you to recognizing and remembering the truth of who you are and the power of your soul, triggering and illuminating your mental body, illuminating your analyzer and inspiring you with creativity. You were created in the likeness and image of the Creator. You're here to create. Be inspired, be enthused. Enthused is actually originated from a Greek word. Enthusiasm was enthuse, and that was meaning close to God, filled with creativity. Yes. And allow this illuminating, shimmering, rainbow, pulsing energy to completely seal that spiritual body. And out in front of you, perhaps you've seen 4 separate bodies. I'm just going to ask and invite you to bring those 4 bodies into complete alignment. Just superimpose them. You can drop one over the other, or just have them stand all in alignment, like the stacking Russian dolls. Drag and drop your apps into the application called You. Magical, beautiful, illumined you. So I'm working on some of your spinal columns. I do see some energies not wanting to move down your spinal column, so you can go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you notice what I'm looking at or talking about. So I'm working on that for you. There's several of you who aren't quite believing this. Hey Ellie, it's nice to see you there from New York. You know, I guess you could say over the years, there were many times that I didn't really believe this stuff, and through the practice, through more practice and more practice, and through reading thousands and thousands of people, I can tell you it's very real. And you get the confirmation by making it real for yourself. You know, I can tell you till my face is blue, until I become an avatar. But and speaking of which, the Arcturians are here with us holding space today, and also I'm working with the Cryon energy. They are saying greetings to you today, and this is a big surprise. Oh my, when I start to rock, that's a good indicator that they're coming through. So this wasn't a plan here. So the Arcturians are emissaries of light and love, and showing us how to align our energy bodies and beautiful, radiant power that we are, and recognizing that truth. So many of us have fallen into, well, we've all fallen into this amnesia for thousands and thousands of years, and this is the time period, spiritually speaking, as the earth ascends, that all of us are gaining that recognition of the truth of who we are. So this energy is amplifying within you today and tomorrow and the next day, and they want you to know that you have been guided here, as you know already, for an activation today. So embrace that. And congratulations, and thank you so much for honoring yourself first and foremost, and sending that energetic effect out into the world as you carry this signal. You know, earlier I was looking at the energies before our session, and wanted you to know that, I talk to Françoise very frequently over there in France, south of France, and we speak to each other on WhatsApp all the time, right? And if I were to say to her, Françoise, go ahead and turn on the radio onto 100.7, she's not going to be able to listen to it. In France, they have a different radio station that's playing different music or different commentary on 100.7 than what I have here in San Diego. So we're like that. We're all operating on different frequencies. And how about all of our bodies are functioning on different frequencies? The goal here today was to align those frequencies, bringing them into like gear, all the gears clicking, and that creates a natural defense for dark forces. And look at how we came around. We started talking about the dark energies, and I got your attention to come here today because we are being affected by these horrible, powerful, forceful energies around us. We see it in the news, we see it in people, we see everybody losing it and coming unglued. And that's because they're having emotional meltdowns. And the only way to counteract that is to clear your space. Clear your face. What they see is an energetic vibration of you. So that's our mission, is to raise our vibration, and that creates a defense. Now, deeper problems, yes, I can help you. Yes, we can look deeper, but I highly encourage all of you to take those tools and practice them and employ them and become second nature to you. Just like you can have an affirmation, you can start employing these in a thought process day to day. So I think we're just past the hour here. Just notice how you feel. What are you noticing? Yeah, when you turn the light on, the darkness vanishes. So true, Françoise. And tuning into different frequencies, being able to align yourself with your own guides and angels and teachers spiritually, being able to be the guide for others. You have to clear your energy space. So I know there's a number of healers and teachers, light workers here with us today. So I honor all of you and the methods that you employ. Many of you are my students, and I know that you know the tools work. Yeah, so, all right, any questions for me? Anything specific? Body aches, pains, things that are concerning you, patterns that are seemingly deep, entrenched, and resistant. Yes, because there's a lot of deep entrenched. Oh yes, spiders and snakes. Just one last thing around money. They do come in like, okay, I know someone that was attacked last week, and there was a moment where she was calm and clear and in meditation, and the next minute this being, a snake being, came in on an opening. Could it be she had a thought of, maybe I'm not enough, or why doesn't she like me, or why doesn't this work for me? So a momentary, fleeting thought was like a doorway for this viper to come in, and literally wrapped around her head and had this whole nest of baby snakes in her heart and attacked her first chakra. So that's maybe a little bit... what's the word here? Too complex for some of you to get. Some of you do get it. But she was under a major psychic attack. It felt like a lot of pins were hitting her head, was having suicidal thoughts, and was hyperventilating and completely hysterical 1 minute, and then the next minute sobbing, and the next minute, so it was a radical different behavior for her. And moving those energies out, within 30 minutes, all the symptoms disappeared. So there's people that have been under spells and under very dark forces for a long time. They don't even really know they are. They just chalk it up to depression. So if you know anybody that is struggling with that, they need to start learning about clearing their energy, or get somebody that can help them move out the big stuff so that they can then do the rest of the work themselves. So Colleen, it looks like Matt, oh yeah, Medusa, yes. Reptilian energy, yes. Okay, thanks for that. Yeah, okay, that's definitely the term. And I guess I'm so used to just calling them snakes, because there are other reptilians that do affect us and control us and destroy. Keep in mind, those are beings in a realm of entities that do exist, much like fairies. And honestly, I've been to Ireland and I've had the fairies completely mess with me. I've had fairies here in the US, up in Mount Shasta, actually help me and actually save a friend. So there are entities and beings at so many different frequencies that are real. And reptilians are not our friends, and they are controlling our money. So anybody having money issues or career issues or abundance issues or manifesting abilities issues, those can often be the cause of, because of snakes and reptilians. Thank you for that, Colleen. It helps, because my gosh, there's a lot of energy hitting me here today. So guys, any other questions or comments? Notice what you're feeling. It may take you a little while to notice the shift. Some of you are still getting into gear. I see that your energy field's shifting. I don't like to have any dead space, but I don't see the screen, the text scrolling. Did I knock you out? Have you gone bye-bye? Amusement is also one of those things that really helps raise the vibration. Sometimes I just start laughing because my guides are bringing in a lot of energy here, and that's an indicator where everything's going good. So it's a good place to be. All right, you're so welcome. Thanks for all the thumbs up and all the hearts and your beautiful energy from you breathing well. Yeah. Was anybody congested or feeling a relief? You know, sometimes the simplest symptoms. I know in my own clairvoyant training, when my students are all of a sudden get a cold, and you know, overnight, oh, Amirah, I'm just so congested, and they feel like crap. I said, this is the time you need a clearing. And literally, after the clearing, within a couple hours, their cold symptoms have completely gone. So sinus problems, headaches, sniffling, cold, Françoise. You know, people have these beliefs, this mental idea that, oh, it's cold season, so it's time for all of us to catch cold. I don't believe it, okay? Yeah, your cold is gone, Françoise. See, Françoise was holding the space for me today. So thank you so much, Françoise, for being here for all of us and helping clear the energies. And when we first spoke before we connected on Facebook, she was so sniffly and grabbed a box of Kleenex. And I said, man, you sound bad. And woof, her cold is gone. So yeah, you got knocked out, did you, Mark? You had a butterfly around you. Yeah, the long texts, by the way, don't show up on an iPhone when it's sideways. So just FYI. And Mark, getting knocked out is because there's unconscious energy that is blocking your ability to stay focused. So that's just a trigger, something that's bubbling up and knocked you out. So, you know, with practice, it happens to me too. And after all these years, it can still happen. You're refreshing, but tired. Yeah, exhausted. Yeah. So yeah, being aware of going out into the world, or even before you get on Facebook or get onto a phone call with somebody. Let's say you're calling the IRS, or you're calling, oh God, a dreaded ex-partner. You know, having a rose up on the edge of your aura, on the bubble edge, will really, really help you, because it will keep that foreign energy out of your space. It works as a decoy. That's where they think your energy is, and their foreign energy goes into that. So you see 333, do you, Shell? Hey, Shell, it's been years. It's so nice to see you. Yeah, thank you for joining us. yeah, it's what a great thing. If nothing else, I get to see people I haven't seen or talked to in so many years. I want to tell you, I love doing this, but it takes a tremendous amount of energy to channel and work the energies and guide you guys. If you have any topics or any ideas that you'd like me to talk about, I'd be grateful for that. And I'm so happy to support you. I know this is an incredibly difficult time for so many people right now. So I don't take any of this lightly. The dark energies are hard to hold the light against at times. Sometimes we need a whole army of us to hold the light and move the energy for someone. Sometimes we have to come together for this so that we can move the energy that's stuck within us. Sometimes you need an expert to help you get to the next step, and that's what I'm here for. So I do take appointments for private sessions. And keep in mind, sometimes it's more than one. So it's not like this is a plug, but this is the fact. I'm not blowing smoke up anybody's skirt here. This is the reality of it. We're complex. So guys, thank you so much for everybody around the world. I'm so touched for all of you to jump in and be here and share the love, and please share this with your friends, because I do know people don't know so much in the West about dark magic or dark forces. We don't talk about it. We can talk about the devil, okay, but it is so real and affecting us on multiple ways that if you look at it from a neutral perspective and get empowered, then you don't fear it, you know? The only thing to fear is fear itself. But when you have tools and ways to elevate yourself and move out of it, it's incredibly liberating, and that's what we're all here to do. So, merci beaucoup, shukran to all my Arabic friends, and my brain is just going. Okay, guys. Well, I want to thank you so much. Please just share. Please share this with your friends and people that you care about. Practice the tools. You can re-listen to it, I hope. And then you can practice that energy clearing as often as you need. And go and check the YouTube channel because there's lots of stuff there too. And thank you for sharing your light.